Hello and welcome to Steve's Backyard Bonsai. I have this grape vine, once again something that just started growing in my yard. It had an interesting structure. It has thickened up a little bit. I've gotten it to ramify a little bit, and today I'm going to prune it up because it's strangling everything it's next to. I caught it wrapped around my Chinese elm trees. I was able to extricate them, but now it's wrapping around itself too, and I know that's what it does. And this will be one of those projects that is, something I have to maintain very closely. It's in a pot that is just a regular nursery pot. Maybe one day I'll put it in a bonsai pot and see what I can do with it, but for right now it's just a grapevine. Let me see if I can get a little grape bonsai going. Wouldn't that be fun? It has had little tiny grapes. They never mature. It's obviously a wild variety. I don't know where it would have come from, but it was just growing in my yard. Maybe something somebody planted many years ago, the former owner or something. Maybe it's just wild. But let me give you a close-up of it and let's get it pruned up. All right. I'm going to start by cutting off the big leaves and any that interfere. Just so you can see the structure better. All right, so it's got this little branch coming off the side. It probably comes in down low. One of these days I'll take it out of this pot and see what I can do with it. I'm going to cut everything back real short. Here it's connected to itself, so I'll separate it. Here also it's connected to itself. It's amazing the way these things grow. All right, so I'm going to want these not to interfere with one another. So I'm going to cut this one here, and it's got a little leaf coming out here, so it should grow straight up. This is old wood. This is a piece of dead. Here's an old pruning stub I can clean up. Another, I guess from just now. I'm going to cut this here. I'm going to take this leaf off. I'm going to take this leaf off. And I'm going to prune this to here. And I've made quick work of my grape. I don't want to call it a bonsai, but maybe someday it'll be a bonsai. Right now, it's just an old grape vine. Give you 360. I'm gonna get in a little closer so you can see this, maybe look down at it a bit. Don't know about this structure. Don't know if it's a wise thing to try and have a grape bonsai. But I was at a vineyard this weekend, or this week. That's where the wedding was in California. And I saw the grapevines. And of course, cultivated vines don't look anything like bonsai. But I thought it was fun. And I thought it might be fun to have something like this. I'm going to cut this sleeve off too. All right, that's it for this one. Let me get it back on the bench and move on to something else. Okay, next up is my Toringo Crabapple, which was given to me or traded with me by my club member Ralph. It's a beautiful little tree. It's a mother-daughter, and I've done Just a minor amount of pruning to it. Really nothing. I cut a piece off here, that's about it. And I want to shape it and get it started as a bonsai. Obviously, I missed my opportunity to get it into bonsai soil this year. It's in a very sandy mix. It drains pretty well. It's sand and grit and garden soil, I think. But this tree has a lot of potential as a mother-daughter. Here's the mother and here's the daughter. Or maybe this is the father and this is the son. Or maybe this is the mother and this is the son. Or maybe this is the father and this is the daughter. Whatever. I burned a few leaves way at the tip. This thing was sitting in the shade of another tree, but I think as it emerged from the shade, it got a little hot. Maybe I missed a day of watering or something, but it's doing very well. I haven't, excuse me while I get the phone. That was just a doctor calling. You know, when you're at a certain age, the doctors call all the time because you've called them. The good ones will actually call you back. And this is a good one. All right, where do I begin on the pruning? You know, this tree comes up and it has a vertical section here that could be a new leader. It has this off to the side. And I'm just wondering if I need this section at all. It is pretty straight from here to here with no taper at all. It tapers from the last cut point, which is here. So if I were to take this off, let's see what I'm left with. Well, I don't want this branch down here at all. So I'm going to take this off. Doesn't have any room in the design or any future design. Clean that up. As a mother-daughter, if this were trying to determine a front for this tree. This is a lot of foliage here, but it may be worth doing. Maybe just to here, because there is a little branch starting, a very weak little branch starting down here. Got ants going up this tree. I wonder if there's aphids or something. I don't see anything. All right, let me decide on that. Let me take this one branch off because it's growing toward the inside of the mother-daughter composition. And while I like it for a sacrifice branch down there, I don't like it that much. Take that off, and now you can see this a little bit better. So it's this section that I'm debating, which is all of this foliage. If I leave it to here, this little section competes with that little section. But is that okay? No matter what, I think this is the front with the daughter emerging from behind it. I think I want to get drastic with this tree. I think I'm going to go right back down to here. No turning back now. I think I like that. Forgive me, Ralph. Now, what do I do with this? All right, I like these 3 branches that are coming off of here, but I just want to shorten them. This one I'm going to take to an outward facing bud or a leaf. It has a bud at the base. This one should grow back in this direction. Is that what I want? No, I want it this way. And maybe I'll get it growing in 2 directions. This one, which is a back branch, which I may want to bring up a little bit with wire. I'm going to take it to here. All right. I'm going to remove these little leaves that are blocking the branch structure. And hopefully the need to produce foliage will affect this tree positively. I'm going to remove this leaf here. And I'm looking at this tree with this being the front and the daughter being its own tree in the back. So let me mark the front as I see it. Kind of right there. I think I'm going to go shorter on this one. Okay, with this as the front, I have... All right, I'm going to get drastic on this one too. I'll take this off, this whole top, clean that up a bit. Outward facing bud there. And a downward facing bud there. And let me remove some of the clutter at the junctions. Try not to damage the buds. All right, and that's got this one pruned up. Let's see what happens to it. Ralph, don't be mad at me. Sometimes you gotta be brutal. I've got a back branch, I've got the apex. I think I'll go down a little bit more with this one. Right there. And that's it for this tree. Let me find something else to work on. Let's spin this around. This tree's vigorous. I think it'll do well. Let me get a little cut paste on there. Actually, let me clean that up a little bit. Okay, this is my current grafting knife, which I have not sharpened for a while. I'm actually waiting for a new grafting knife. I do need something very sharp to clean up these wounds. And let me get some cut paste on that. Once I make a little more dent in my lac balsam, I'm probably going to try a different type of cut paste. I might even try lipstick, as it's been recommended. But Nigel Saunders said in a very recent video that he's very happy with rubber cement as cut paste. It has done a good job for him, and I think I would take Nigel Saunders' recommendation any day. All right, let me get this one. I'll put a little bit more on here, a little there, a little here, and a little here. It's going to rain tomorrow. I think I want to leave this one outside. I'll put it back in the shady spot. Okay, I've chosen a front. Got this pruned up. Well, let me zoom up on this one a little. Coming around to the right side. Coming around to the back. Coming around to the left side. And back to the proposed front, marked by 2 wires. When you get those lined up, then there's no question. Then the question would be whether you changed your mind or not. All right, this one's going back out. But before it does, all right, that's my Toringo Crabapple, all pruned up, ready to go back outside. Thank you for keeping me company in my backyard.